Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go over some of my must-have creative sim mods that I use all of the time. So most of these mods you may have heard of and some of them may be completely new to you. I highly recommend that you guys stick around until the end just in case you might pick up on a gem or two. So today we're just going to start with my new sim, Zoya. I created Zoya very quickly. At the end of this video, you will be able to download her from my Patreon, but she's going to be our lovely model for today. So first, let's talk about aesthetic mods. I kind of broke this video down into like 4 categories. We're going to start off talking about aesthetic mods. Aesthetic mods is, things that make my creative sim look the way it do. So for example, the CAS background that I'm using, this nice like beige background, I kind of like it. There are all kind of, CAS backgrounds in different colors and patterns that you can use, but I really like this one. Everything that I mentioned in this video will be linked down below so you can download it. The important thing about using CAS backgrounds is to remember to get the blob remover mod. And it basically removes this weird blob that comes with the game. I don't know why, but if you don't want your Sims to look like they're standing on like a floating little green object, I highly recommend you download the blob remover. Another mod I want to talk about is the CAS lighting mod. So the CAS lighting mod basically just allows your Sims to be relit within CAS. So, it kind of makes them a little brighter, kind of gives them a little backlight. There's so many different, CAS lighting mods and different shades and different tones and different lighting colors. I really like the ones from Helga Tisha. Again, it will be linked below, especially the one that I'm using right now. But it really just gives your Sims that pop that they need in Creative Sim so that they can kind of look a little bit more brighter, a little cheerier, just overall aesthetically pleasing. Now let's talk about some user interface mods. And when I say user interface, I mean, functionality, the way the interface works within Creative Sim. The first mod I want to talk about is the More Columns in Creative Sim mod. Again, this mod is a classic. What it does is give you more columns in Creative Sim. If you have a lot of custom content like I do, you will find that this mod is very helpful for, just looking at your items at a glance. Sometimes it can be very hard just working with 2 columns and you'll be scrolling forever. As you can see, I have 4 columns and I'm still scrolling forever, but that's just more of a testament to how much CC I have in my game. It's kind of a problem. But I highly recommend this. Most people already know about this, but I just think it's helpful to include in this video. Another interface mod that I want to highlight in this video is the CAS Organizer mod. This can also be called Tidy Details. There's so many of these that you can download, but as you can see, I have these pink ones right here. And what they do is they separate your content so that you can overlap items. So I'll demonstrate what this actually does. So let's say I want to use these little forehead lines right here. I can mix this with these dimples because they're not in the same category. But as you can see, I cannot mix 2 things in the same category. So let's just say I also wanted to give her these lashes. Oops, those kind of clash with the lashes that I have. But let's just say I wanted to give her like this beard, whatever. You cannot have the dimples and the beard because they're within the same lip mole left category. But you can combine the forehead lines and the beard because these are in 2 different categories. I hope that makes sense. Online it explains it a little bit better than I am right now, but I can't remember if I gave her these dimples or not. Either way, I kind of like them on her. What do you think? Yeah, I think we're going to keep the dimples. Okay, so now let's talk about some positioning mods. And when I say positioning mods, I mean the sim themselves, how they're standing in Creative Sim. Most of the time they would be doing some funny little interaction or, moving idly. And I think that's cute and everything, but sometimes I just want my Sims to stand still. Hence the stand still in Creative Sim mod. This mod, I recently downloaded. At first, I kind of go back and forth with this mod. Sometimes I want them to do things and sometimes I don't. But this mod could also be paired with another mod from the same creator called the CAS Close-Up mod. So that way, they're standing still right here and you can turn them and, they won't move, they won't budge. But also when you zoom in, as you can see, their face they're still blink because I think it would be weird if they don't blink. But, otherwise they just pretty much stand still. So that way, whenever you are, changing up their hairstyles or, just doing your little create a sim thing. They won't be moving and doing all this like weird facial expressions and stuff. So sometimes I go back and forth with this, but nonetheless. So when talking about positioning, I cannot leave this video without talking about one of my favorite mods in Create a Sim, and that is the finger position mod. So if you want a close up whenever you are doing your Sim's nails or their rings or their arm candy, their jewelry, if you click on fingernails, it will do a close-up of them, and they're kind of posing so that you can see their hands and everything. This mod is so useful for just being able to see what you're doing whenever you're changing your Sim's nails, or you're playing around with like their jewelry and things. Wish we had a mod like that for the feet, because sometimes I do want to get a close-up of like the toenails and things like that. But nonetheless, the finger position mod is by far one of my favorites. So while we're on the topic of positioning, I also want to give an honorable mention for the infant Bobby. So when infants were first introduced to The Sims 4, we got them this cute little Bobby in Create a Sim. So I really like this. They do have a standstill and CAS mod for the infants. However, I opted not to download that. It is optional because I just want my Sims, like the infants, to me, they aren't walking. They're not like toddlers yet. They're still very much sitting down. So in lieu of that, I have this, boppy, recolor, or this little pillow, or whatever you want to call it. I call it a boppy. What do you guys call it? But there's so many different, versions of these that you could find on the internet. I mean, they have pattern ones, different colored ones. I opted to get a beige one for my little sad beige background. Don't judge me. I just think, it doesn't conflict with other colors whenever I'm trying to dress my Sims. The colors just don't get in the way. So, but you definitely have so many options with this. You can download so many different colors. But also, this would be Zoya's baby. What do you guys think? Like, isn't she cute? Like, you guys know I get so carried away when it comes to these babies. Okay, so the last portion of this video will be default replacements, and this will be things actually on my Sim's person. So the skin, the eyes, the teeth, you name it, these are all the defaults that I use to have my Sims looking the way they look, okay? So let's talk about my default skin. So right now, she has on a lot of skin details and everything, but if I go over here and I just get rid of all of her skin details, all the skin details, all of the makeup, this is what Zoya looks like, this is what she looks like. I'll get rid of, let's just get rid of everything. Okay, so this is Zoya at base. And the default skin that I use is a default skin by Nusuri. I use all of their default skins. Every time Nusuri comes out with a new default skin, it's going in my game. So again, it'll be linked below along with everything else, but I think, compared to the original EA base skins, this is just a nice way to enhance your Sim. Of course, I use like skin overlays and, different things like that. So for example, if I go into my skin details, I also have like skin overlays. This is what Zoya, this is what she had on. So just different things like that to kind of enhance the Sims. But right now, this video is strictly talking about default replacements. This is what my Sim's skin looked like out of default. Also, let's talk about Zoya's eyes. I have these default replacement eyes. I really like these. I tend to switch up my default replacement eyes often. I go back and forth between like, a Maxis match versus like more realistic eyes. But, nonetheless, I really, really like these eyes. I've been sticking with these for a while. Yeah, these always change. But again, I always keep these things updated. So another default replacement that is just a must-have in my game is the No EA Eyelash mod. So as you can see, these thick, chunky eyelashes over here, I cannot stand them. So there's a mod that actually gets rid of these and keeps the eye shape only. So for example, let's say I was to click on this little chunky one right here. It will give Zoya the eye shape without giving her those chunky lashes. That way they don't conflict with my lashes that I use on my Sim. I will be doing a video talking about like my skin details and, the eyelashes and all of the other details that aren't default in my game. I do have a video planned for that, but for right now, I just want to talk about like, this is what I use straight out of the gate. So So another thing that I use are default teeth from MagicBot. I love these teeth. I can't get enough. Like, the teeth are so realistic. You can even choose whether you want them kind of like yellowish or not. I never choose that option, obviously. But you could choose the braces, and it just looks so realistic. There's a couple of different versions that MagicBot created. The Alpha teeth, and then you have the Maxis Match teeth. The ones that I'm showing right now are MagicBot's Alpha teeth. I do not use the Maxis Match teeth just because I don't like the coloring of them. It's not so much the shape of them. They just tend to look a little bit more blue, and I don't really prefer that. But these are perfect. Like, I love these teeth so much. It just makes your sim look so good and have a nice smile. Okay, so keeping on the same train, I also want to talk about default feet. So I use these default feet. Let me take off her shoes. Okay, so I use these default feet from Juice or Juice. You guys know. I use these default feet. Anywho, they come in, all ages, all genders. As you can see, even our little infant baby has the replacement feet. I love the replacement feet because it actually gives your Sims like toes instead of webbed feet. And it just makes, the feet look a little bit better. So default replacement feet, there are a few versions of default feet that could be found. I've used quite a number over the years, but I found these to be my favorite right now. So again, link below. Okay, so those are all of the defaults that make up my actual sim in their body. Let's talk about what's going on in this quadrant of the Create a Sim because I do use 3 mods that I want to talk about. The first one is the Lifetime Aspirations mod. I love this mod so much. So it basically just expands and it gives your Sims realistic aspirations. I've talked about this mod so many times. So now if you want a successful lineage, that means that your child has to achieve their aspiration. Do you know how long it would take for you to complete that? That means that you would have to have a child, raise the child, wait for them to complete their aspiration, and then your aspiration will be complete. So it's kind of more of a lifetime thing. Like it's not like a, get lifetime points quick scheme. Like, you actually have to work for it. So cannot talk about it enough. Love that mod so much. Another mod I want to recommend is the CAS name randomizer mod. So this mod just expands the type of names that you can roll the dice on. It just adds more names, adds modern names, just more names to choose from. Because if you've been playing the game for a while, sometimes you just run out of names and you find yourself like looking up baby names on the internet, and it's just a mess. Am I the only one? I cannot be the only one. You guys, don't leave me out on this. I'm not the only one that do that, okay? I'm not. Okay, another mod I want to talk about is the unlimited likes and dislikes mod from Zerbu. And this mod does exactly what it says. It gives you unlimited likes and dislikes whenever you are picking your Sim's preferences in Create a Sim. So for example, you used to only be able to choose 20 things and per category, but now I can literally like and dislike and have an opinion on every single one of these if I wanted to. So and it doesn't stop there. Like, you can just use it all over. So, and it wasn't 20 per category. It looks like it was like 20 all together. But, now I could just have like a preference on anything. So unlimited, you can get up to 100,000, and that's more combinations that you can actually make. So pretty much unlimited. So those are my must-have Create a Sim default replacements for 2024. If you have any questions, please leave your comments down below. If you want to download any of these items, it will be linked down below. And if you want to download Zoya, she will also be available on my Patreon for free. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.